Okay. Alright. I'm recording. What do I say? I didn't even like plan this out.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about military like house hacking using your
structure, bro.
Structure? What structure?
Like you just need a template.
Yeah, no. I want it to be from the heart, man.
It is from the heart.
I talk about this all the time, and it's great content every time I talk about it with someone. Maybe I'll just talk to you about it.
Alright, that's
Nah, you know what? I'm just gonna. All right, fuck it. Okay. Shh, don't talk because it'll pick up. Shut the door. Shut the thing real quick. Shut it because it gets the noise. Come on, please. Anyway, okay. So, okay, let me start that again. It doesn't even have a mic right there. Okay, guys, I've never made a video. This is my first video. I did do a podcast the other day, so I guess I did make a video. But this is my first content video for YouTube. So here we go. So check this out. I need a coffee. 1 second. Military house hacking. Okay, I got this. No, don't pause it. Don't pause it. I'm gonna get this. I'll cut this shit out. I don't care. Alright. Don't look at me. Alright, guys. So, here in this video, I'm gonna teach you about military house hacking. For everybody out there who's a E3, E2, E1, you can also do this. This is a very good method, especially if you're staying in the military for 20 years. Or even 4 years, because if you stay in for 20 years, I know you want that $2,000-$3,000 passive income pretty much for staying in to get your pension. But doing this method, you'll be able to pick that up within your first 3 to 4 years just by doing a simple method called house hacking. Now, for all the military folks out there, you know that you have a benefit called the VA loan. The VA loan is pretty much a zero down loan that is backed by the government. So it's the best loan out there the bank can give you for a home loan. And so that already puts your loan above everybody else. So now that you know you and every other military person are accessible to this loan, let's talk about how you can use that to make money and live for free, even if you don't have BA8. I remember I was E3 and stationed in Norfolk, Virginia, and I was getting into the real estate game. I did a lot of methods, but I came across one called house hacking, and I got a mentor in what I know is pretty much, I got a mentor in how to use the VA loan, pretty much for real estate investing. And what you do, it's a simple method. And I don't want to make this too long. I just want to get kind of to the sweet spot because this is all you need to know about military house hacking. You know, people can house hack, regular civilians. So, I mean, if you're out here watching this video and you're not military, I will also make content on how you can house hack and live for free and obtain free properties with zero down payments in another video. But this one's strictly made for the military people out there. I just got out about a month ago, so I really want to help out my fellow members and kind of show you a very easy way to start building your wealth and investments and prepare for when you retire and actually have a lot you're sitting on, making tens of thousands of dollars, especially if you've gone through it for 20 years. It'll be as easy as just picking up 1 property or 2 properties every duty station you go. And yes, you can use your VA loan on each and every one of those because the VA loan works like this. You have 2 accessible VA loans at all times. As of right now, today, early 2020, you have 2 VA loans. Actually, early today in 2020, a bill was supposed to be passed. There's no more cap. So I'm sure if you do understand a little bit about the VA loan, you have a cap. Pretty much something that doesn't allow you to go over a certain amount depending on where you live. Out in Virginia, it's like $450,000. You can't spend more on the VA loan than $480,000. I mean, and Cali, it's somewhere around $750. New York, somewhere around $800. No matter where you're at, was a cap. Now they've gotten rid of the cap. President signed a bill. It's now releasing the cap from the VA loan, and everybody will be pretty much able to get whatever they can approve for. If you get approved for $1 million house, guess what? Don't get that $1 million house because that'd be the worst idea for you to do. But you can, technically. If you Go out to a lender in your area, and this is as simple as this. Just go to a lender in your area and ask them, what can I get approved for? Well, even if you don't think you would get approved, you'd be surprised how many people can actually get approved. You are in the military. If you have Navy Federal, you obviously know you could get loans just by going in there and asking it, and next thing you know, you walk out with $10,000 and you don't even know what you're gonna do with it because you're a military member. You have that income back. Like, you are secure. They will give you this loan. Now, how much, that depends on your credit score, your income, stuff like that. But like I said, I was not getting BAH. So if you're getting BAH, you get that extra income, and they actually take that while you're in service, for the VA loan portion. Let's say if you get approved for $200,000, let's say I got approved for $50,000, and like I said, E3 pay. That's it, nothing. I had no car payment because my car just got totaled, so that definitely helped. So people that were in my situation, I noticed, got about 200, maybe 230. It really depends. So you just gotta go ask. Go ask what you're approved for, because you can make it work pretty much no matter how much you get approved for. You still want to pick up a home, just make sure it's a good investment. So the point is, you're going to go get approved for this loan. And once you get that pre-approval letter, now you can start looking. You're going to start looking for houses to make offers. And this one is going to be geared towards single sailors out there, or single personnel who are Army, Air Force, whoever. If you're single, it's a lot easier for you because you only need a single family home with a good amount of rooms. If you get a house that's worth $180,000, your mortgage, I've been seeing mortgages around this time at least, for all these different prices. I can tell you around $180,000, your mortgage payment after insurance, after tax is going to be roughly around $1,000, maybe you could get less, maybe you could get a little bit more, but you're gonna be sitting maybe around $1,000. So if you're at $1,000 and you got a 3-bedroom home, for everybody out there who knows about BAH and is watching this because it is a military content video, BAH is in the area. Typically, let's say the area I'm at is 1,300. For single BAH, somewhere around that, 13 something. I always recommend 4 or 5 if you can, but if you get a 3-bedroom home, who that is getting BAH, everybody getting BAH that's single looking for a room typically pays around 500. Typically might even pay around 600. I rent to students, and that goes up to 750 a room. If you start renting out to students while you're living in your city, while in military base, man, you get like 700 a room. So when you rent out the other 2 rooms, because you're used to sleeping in the barracks next to somebody anyway, next to somebody like that sleeps right across from you, or boot camp where you have racks and hundreds of people in your compartment. So it's no different, except the fact that it's actually better. Sorry, it's different because you actually have your own room, and depending on the house, you can even have your own bathroom, have the master, just keep away from people. So a lot of people are always like, well, I don't want to live with. Well, you've been doing that your whole time in the service pretty much if you have not got a place yet. So is it about comfortability, or are you trying to make some wealth? Take the property, do it for a little bit. You're going to live in the master bedroom, get your own bathroom, sure, you could do that, and rent out the other 2 rooms for $550. The 2 people who are military are going to keep their, $1,100, $1,200 profit from BAH, so they're going to be making money. You're going to be, sure, maybe you don't have BH. You're going to be living for free because they're pretty much paying your mortgage with that $550 and $100 extra to cover, capital expenditures when you get into that. So you're going to be pretty much secure with that property. And then once you move out and you rent that room out, you can rent it for another $600. So now you'll be profiting $600 when you decide to move it out. Or say you just want to rent it out to a family member, and bam, you can just pretty much give that to a family for $1,300, and now you're making a couple $100 a month. You property manage it out. You don't even have to think about it. So, comfortability versus profitability. If you don't want to live with people, and this one's going to be a little bit more geared to the people who have families, because I get that you don't want to be living in a house with other rooms with other people when you have a kid and a wife and a dog, you know. It doesn't really make too much sense for your family. So, okay, well, your VA loan also covers duplexes, triplexes, up to a quadplex. And remember, now, if you could get approved for the amount, you can do it. So it's the same premise as the single families with the multiple rooms. You get a duplex, could be 2 bedrooms, 1 bedrooms, whatever. It's a duplex. You live in one side of the house while you rent out the other. So you're pretty much, the other unit is covering pretty much your whole entire mortgage in some cases, and say it does cover your mortgage. You are getting BAH because now you have a family, you're in the military. I know you're getting BAH. So you're getting BAH. So now, instead of using your BAH to live, you're just pocketing it. You have somebody else paying your mortgage. You have $1,300, or if you're in like California, you have $3,000 coming in, and you don't even have to use it. That's just extra income, non-taxable. So start being smart when you get to your next duty session and pick up a property, because once you do that, you're there for like a year, 2. Now it's time to look into another property. You can actually use your VA loan again. It's just got to make sense. So you got to buy a newer home, a bigger home. Say you were single and you got married. That makes a reason for them to give you the VA loan. So now you can actually buy another home with your VA loan, and that's another 0 down payment. To this day, if you've done it right, I'll tell you right now, to this day, I have never paid for my property. I've never had to pay for my property. So you will also not have to pay for your properties ever. Even if you're $400,000 to $1 million in debt, it's good debt. You're not paying for the property. You're living in it for free. Somebody else is paying your debt. That's like saying you got a $15,000 car and you're like, oh, I spent $15,000. Obviously you spent $15,000 because you're going to be paying that off. But what if your mom was like, no, I'll make your payments for the rest of your life? Well, you never actually have to worry about spending money on that car except for gas and stuff like that. So you're in debt, but you're not really in debt. And it's a secure debt because you're not going to be losing credit points because you're missing payments. It's just secure. Somebody else is paying it. So that's what you got to look at as good debt when you have a house, especially as the military. Like I said, pick up that house, then you can go into your next one. Take the VA loan. It's pretty much rinse and repeat. Do it again with your next one. And now this is what it's going to get sticky, because now you got 2 of your properties and you have the VA loan spot, so you can't just use another one. Well, you can't just use another one yet. Now, there is other methods to pick up more properties, but I'll cover that as well in other videos that you can just kind of take from and implement it if you want to scale the business. But if you're just looking to build that passive income over time, this is super easy. Because now, say you go into your next duty station. You've been at your duty station for 4 years. That first property you got that first year is pretty much paid down enough to where you can refinance it. Okay, well, here's what you're going to do. You get out, say you go from Florida and you get up to Groton, Connecticut. You have 2 properties down in Florida and now you're going to Groton, Connecticut. And you're stationed out there and you have both those properties that you got for a total of 3 years and one was 4 years. So what you're going to do is you're going to refinance, because you have enough equity. You're going to refinance the first home loan into a conventional loan, because you probably have 20% of that equity in there already. Hopefully you bought smartly and bought it under market and you get there quicker. But the premise is you want to get that 20% equity in it so you can refi with a conventional loan, because now that takes over the VA loan and it frees up your other VA loan. You still have one out on your second home, but now you have another free one. And now you're in Groton, Connecticut, and you want to do it again, especially if you're single personnel. You just want to live for free out in Groton, Connecticut. You don't want to stay in the barracks. You got BH now, most likely. You've been in 4 years. You've been doing this. Now you're getting BH, and now you picked up a property that you can actually just pay for if you wanted to live there, but you're like, screw this, I'm going to rent it out. I'm gonna rent out the other rooms for $500 a pop, and say it's cheaper out here for you, and your mortgage is only $800, and you're renting out $550 a room, and you got a 4-bedroom because you got approved for more for your loan. Well, now you're making $600 to live in your property for free. So if you do this every 4 years, you switch duty stations, or just every 4 years in general. Say you stayed in the same duty station for more than 10 years, you came back, or you just stayed there somehow. Sometimes it happens. You could just do it in that area. Just keep doing it in that area. You just got to find reasons why they'll accept your VA loan. Whether, like I said, whether you're getting married, whether you're getting a baby, whether you just ranked up, you got more income, and you can approve for a higher loan. Pretty much a better house if you're in the area. If you're going somewhere else, that's full. That's enough, pretty much. That's all you need, you know. If it's over 50 miles, if you're moving work over 50 miles, that's typically the range that they'll take the travel reason you're moving. So, okay, you want a house next to work. Like I said, for everybody out there in the military, it's very easy to do this. All you have to do is get the loan, go ask for a lender. They're all willing to run everything to try and get you the loan. Talk with the real estate agent and look for the house. Just ask for a bunch of, look for the house. Look for things that make sense. Check your mortgage, what your mortgage would be like. There's mortgage calculators such as like Zillow. I would use that one. Mortgage calculators can pretty much show you where your mortgage might be. So you can just use that as an estimator. See, okay, well, the mortgage calculator says I have a $200,000 loan, which is what you got approved for. And you also have about maybe a 3.5-4% interest rate. Okay, you put that in there, and it's telling you pretty much what your mortgage is looking like. So when you do that, you say, okay, I have 4 bedrooms. I can easily rent out these for $500. If you want, you can comp them, comparables. You could comp them with other rooms for rent on Craigslist. Look up what people are going for rooms in your area to see how much you can rent a room out for, and see the quality of those rooms, because now you can know what you can charge for a room. And I'll tell you this, majority of the time it's probably like $550. If you're out in Cali, it might be like $900 a room. Depends on your area, but just look that up on Craigslist. It's very easy to find this stuff, but once you do that, you've looked for your property, you've counted the rooms, you checked your mortgage, what it's gonna be, and then you just do the math. 550, 550, 550, 550. All right, that's way over my $1,000 mortgage. I think I'm good. I don't even have to know the total number. Sorry, guys. I didn't want to do the math. Point is, it's over your mortgage. You live it free, and you get money. Now, before I let you guys go, there's one more other expense that everybody forgets. And do not forget this. Get a book on rehab costs. There's a lot of Bigger Pockets books that could teach you this stuff. When you get a house, if you're going to rent out to a single family or students or military personnel, whatever you do, when you look at that final mortgage payment and tax and insurance, if your rent is $1,200 and your mortgage is $1,000, it's very, very likely for you to think that, if you have never been in this field, to think that you're going to be profiting $200 on that house. This is going to make you lose money. So the one thing I have to advise you to do, and I will also make content about this subject as well, because it's one that everybody doesn't want to do the work for. Everybody wants to look over. But guess what? You're going to be hurting yourself if you do not do the numbers on capital expenditures. Capital expenditures are things like your roof, your HVAC, your floors, your updates of the kitchen every 10 years, whatever it is. Point is, you're going to look at your house condition and you're going to determine, okay, well, this roof is worth, it's 10 years old. It's got about 5 to 8 years of life left. Okay. And when I get a new roof, it's going to cost me $10,000. So if it costs you $10,000 for the next, let's say, 10 years, let's say the next 10 years, here, let me pull out my calculator real quick. So if your roof is $10,000, And you're gonna have to say build a new one in 10 years. That's the lifespan in 10 years. So $10,000, let's say, well, 12 times 10, because we got 12 months in a year, times 10 is 120. Okay, well, 10,000 divided by 120 equals $83. So to cover your house in the next 10 years without you having to pay money out of pocket, without you having to use all that profit that you collected during your time renting this property, you need to make $83 more than the mortgage. So that's just for the roof. And now that's one of the biggest ones, and so is the HVAC and plumbing and electricity. But typically, you might, if you have a good condition home or you got a new renovation home, the capex is going to be quite small. You got 20 years life on the roof, so it's going to be about $40 capex. Point is, you're going to add all these totals. You're going to figure out the lifespan of your HVAC, your floors, your bathrooms, your kitchens, your rooms, your walls, your carpets, everything. And once you do that calculation, say you come up to, you need $350 a month set aside in a separate bank account to cover any repairs that are bound to come out, and tack on an extra 50 for the repairs that are just going to happen during the time tenants are staying there that you have to repair yourself and can't put it on the tenants. So you're at $400 a month. Well, like we said earlier, you are now renting out this house that is $1,000 mortgage for $1,200, and you need $400 a month to cover your losses on the repairs. You're not making that. You're going to be losing $200 a month. Now, even in the worst case scenario, this is not bad, because you're spending $400 a month for an investment that's going to grow you wealth and equity, and you just got to hold on to it. That's not even bad. It's not terrible. If you've got that now, it's not terrible, because most people are paying $300-$500 for a car that's not going to make them money. Well, at least you're paying into an investment. You're just paying to hold on to a house for $300 a month. Even then, you won't see that for the next 10 years. So maybe you build enough equity to take it out and repair the cost. But do not bank on that, please, because that is not how you're going to want to go about investing. You will lose money by thinking like this. But like I said, if you did your due diligence and you have four or five bedrooms, if you did a 5-bedroom with $500 a piece, that's $2,500. So therefore, that $1,000 mortgage plus the $400 capital expenditures that you're going to put in a separate bank account, never touch unless you need to repair something. Bam. Okay, so $1,400 is going away. All right, you rent out for $2,500. That is $1,100 profit just by renting out per room. So, and say you take up one of those rooms and it's $600, you're making now $500 profits just by living in a house for free that you bought in the military, and you do it throughout your 20 years. Next thing you know, when you get out in 20 years, instead of collecting $3,000 a month, you're taking in $15,000 a month because you decided to pick up 2-3 properties every duty station you went. And you probably came across more freaking opportunities to pick up more houses without using the VA loan, because there's a lot of those. And I know there's a lot of people out there that have over 100 rental units that they don't have to manage because they just hire out property managers. So therefore, they're making, when they get out the military, they're making $20-$30K a month off their 100-something properties that they picked up. So if you really want to build your wealth as somebody in the military, start with the VA loan. Use this. It will greatly improve your quality of life, your freedom. And if you decide to get out in 4 years, do it as soon as you get to as soon as you get out of A school. I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done it as soon as I got it. I waited a little bit, like a year or two. As soon as you get out of A school, you get to your duty station, and you know you're going to be there, buy a house. Buy a house, house hack it. And if you go on deployment, make sure you do the CapEx cost right, and also add in property management costs. They usually take 10% of the full rent value. So if you're renting out for $2,500, they're going to be taking like $250, but you still be profiting at that range. You know that, right? So when you go on deployment, they'll take care of the property. Make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you know your costs. Make sure you know everything so you can at least manage your property managers when you get back. Make sure they did everything right. So that's my first video content on military house hacking. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. I'll come out with new content, put it out like every week. I'm going to try and do it every week. This is my first time working with YouTube, and I'll be talking about, BRRRR method strategies, how to obtain free properties even if you're not in the military. I'll be talking a lot about psychology, and I'm also going to be talking a lot about fitness. This isn't just a channel just for real estate and wealth building. It's a channel mostly to help you just improve your everyday life. I really want to teach this stuff. I don't want to ask a dime for people. I just want to do what I can to give back to the community. So please subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you guys next time.